Okay, let's have a look at a different scenario here. Imagine you're running payment photo booths in bars and nightclubs or very public places where the equipment might be more prone to be damaged because patrons are drinking or there's just no one around to keep a regular eye on it. Obviously, what you want to do is make the gear as bulletproof as possible, and a great way to do that is by removing the touchscreen and using a regular display where you can then cover up the whole thing with something like plexiglass to protect it from damage. But the issue then becomes, what if you want to collect data, email addresses, phone numbers, or run surveys? Having a photo booth in a bar and a club is important, obviously, as a revenue raiser, but just as importantly for collecting data from patrons as well. So we have a solution to do that through Breeze Cloud that I want to run you through today. So if you don't have a Breeze Cloud account, you can sign up at cloud.breezesoftware.com. And the first step is to create a link between Cloud and Remote Pro so we can set up our Microsite QR code sharing. We can also set up a link that gets printed on the output as well, and we'll have a look at that. So we have videos that go into more detail on the setup of that, so I won't do a deep dive on that. So it's just going to be a quick look. So the main thing we want to do is just jump into our settings in Breeze Cloud and grab our Microsite URL, which is going to be this one here. So I'm going to copy that. And then we're going to come back into Remote Pro, and I'm going to come into our settings, then go down to Edit QR Code, and I'm going to paste that QR code in here. Now, the domain name can be custom for your company, so you can use custom URLs, no problem at all. And that can also be done on an event basis, so you could actually set up custom URLs for each venue that you have the photo booth installed in as well if you want. So we've got that added there. Then we need to enable that on our sharing screen. So we'll come into photo booth settings. Now I should have said I've also got a sample event for that, which you can load. So it's in our Microsite Gateway settings, and just load that in. So we want to come into our output settings, and we need to enable the display QR code in sharing screen option. Now, to ensure that the sharing screen is displayed in Remote Pro, you need to have at least one other sharing option enabled, even if you're not using it. So you can go ahead and tick any one of those. And we just don't assign the touchscreen action to it. So no one can use it if there's no touchscreen action, but we need this enabled just for the QR code to be able to trigger. So we want the QR code enabled. Then we're going to jump into our touchscreen settings, and we'll just go to our share screen. And we can see we've got the QR code here. And I've just designed our share.jpg screen to say scan to download, get your digital copy. So we can place that about there. And then on our print layout, we can also add a link as well. So if we look at our captions here, we can enable a caption, which is going to be custom text that gets printed on the output. And I've pasted that same link in here as well. So this will create a link specific to the session that's being run on the photo booth. It's a private session, so users can't guess other sessions that are being run. You can't access the gallery from this link either, so it's completely private. All right, so we've got that set up. So now when we run a session, it's going to be printed on the output, and I'll get a QR code at the end of the session. So let's have a look at how that works. And of course, I've got matching MDB settings for this one as well, which you can load in. So this is just going to be based off our simple tap to pay setup. All right, so I'll go ahead and run the session.
Operating. Thank you.
All right, so I'll do the countdown, take the picture. It's going to take us to the share screen. So you can see on the output here, there is the link up the top there. So users can go to that, or they can scan this QR code here, which will take them to the same place. So when they do that, let's just jump back into Breeze Cloud. And if we come to this event, which is my payment booth examples event here, you'll see we have all the sessions down the bottom here, and we can click on that to view that image. Now, what we've got set up is a Microsite Gateway, which is going to block it. You can't view that until you've entered the details. So if I go ahead and put in peter@me.com, and we can have an opt-in there to signing up to a newsletter, terms and conditions. Once I hit submit, now I can access that image and the data has been collected. So if we come back into here, we can go into data, QI generations is where it's stored, and we can see if we scroll down here, all the sessions and all the data that's been collected, and we can export that to a spreadsheet and use that for further processing. So how do we set that up in cloud? So we'll jump into our cloud survey. Now again, John's made a bunch of videos on this that goes into a much deeper dive than what I'm going to show you, but just so you've got the basics, we'll come in here. And the key thing is we need to set the cloud survey type to Microsite Gateway. Now, if you're not seeing it, it's because it's on our Pro plan. So you need to be signed up to the Cloud Pro plan, which you can do under billing, which is this one here. Then once you've done that, you'll be able to see the option for Microsite Gateway. And you go ahead and configure the look and feel with all your logos, colors, and John covers all that off. And if we go down to the very bottom, you can see where you can build the survey. And you can add all sorts of options here, drop-down boxes, check boxes, radio buttons, and so on. So once you build that with all the data that you want, essentially, whenever someone goes to visit that microsite link, they will first have to go through this gateway to enter their details. Now, you can set it up for an option that says lock all sessions. Now, what that means is that every time someone revisits that same URL, they would have to re-enter their details. If it's unlocked, it means we use a cookie basically to determine if someone has entered their data or not. And so if it's unlocked, they wouldn't have to do it the second time if they're on the same device, essentially. So it's up to you how you'd prefer to do that. But that is a way that you can collect data from the photo booth, and means you can run a completely contactless photo booth, but still offer data collection as a value add to your customers. So yeah, jump in, have a look at John's videos as well, because there's quite a few just on the configuration of cloud stuff as well. But if you have any questions relating specifically to this, jump to the comments and let us know.